There we are.
Welcome back, guys. It's Alex from PTOUnlimited podcast. Welcome back to our pre-show for episode 182.
182!
So basically what we do here is we sit down and talk about what we're going to talk about on tonight's podcast just a little bit before we actually talk about it. That allows you guys to be able to join in on the conversation, say hi, hello, as well as if there's anything this week that you guys would like us to talk about, shout it out in the comments. I'll be looking at those.
Type it in.
Shout it. Like, I want to talk about this. And whether or not it gets translated will be up to you.
You know what to do. So, anyways, we're going to get started.
Yep. We still have a couple of things that we need to touch on from last week that we didn't get to. Domino's lawsuit that I was going to talk about, and a body donation as well. Both of those things I have to actually go into. We also have our movie club for the week, which this week was A Quiet Place, where we watch. The movie club is we sit down and we watch a movie that at least 1/3 of us has not seen, or something in a long time, whatever. And this week we watched A Quiet Place because Brett hasn't seen it and Alex and I haven't seen it since the theater.
Since it came
so we
out.
saw it once.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll be discussing that in full spoilers. I also have a couple of things on the board that I'd like to add is the fake ID. I have a story on that.
Okay.
And then also Lady Gaga and Ninja are in the news. So, got something going on there.
I know about that.
You know about that?
I do. Brett, you got some stuff?
Something happened at the chiropractor that was kind of interesting, but has nothing to do with actually.
No chiropractic work.
Yes, that. So.
Okay, cool. That's always fun.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool story, bro. Okay, I have to go back to it. Hold on.
Brett has something else as well, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Yeah, you wrote it up there.
Oh, Jared Leto's in the news again.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of stuff on him this week.
I haven't heard anything about that.
You probably know more than I do, but there's one specific thing that I want to.
Yeah, it's. I've
bring
also
up.
got a little bit of Marvel news.
We
in there
already have
too.
NFL written down, right?
Yes, we always talk
Can
about
you
that.
put next to NFL field goal or FG or whatever? So I don't.
That's not how you spell field goal,
I was
Brett.
gonna say, wait a minute, that's not right.
We're gonna let that just be our little secret.
There is a
Except that you've told everybody.
They don't know how you spelt it.
There's a trending hashtag this today, and what I've seen on Twitter, which is costumes that shouldn't be sexy. So
I saw that.
So yeah, and I want to discuss that because I think
Is that stuff that would actually look up?
actually, yeah, you could probably pull up the Twitter feed.
Okay, you have to make sure you send that. Can you send that? Text that to me or anything or no?
Just go to Twitter and pull.
Fine,
up.
I'll look it up myself.
Like
and I'll
I scrolled through it and there's lots of people wearing these costumes and I was like, we have to talk about this. Other thing, Brett, you can write down snoring device.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a snoring device in the news.
We can't forget about our weekly topic. For this week, we are going to be talking about what high school subject should be added to the high school curriculum, like a new subject. We've had a lot of comments on our social media, so we thank you guys for doing that.
Thank you.
We're keeping that rolling. We're going to have something made.
If you guys also have any suggestions of what you want this week's or next week's or whatever week's fan topic to be, just let us know.
Yeah.
I'm already up for suggestions because honestly, I don't really have anything this week.
We don't necessarily have to have something until the weekend.
I'm like, I don't really have everything, have a subject every week picked out, but it's just, as I hear, I'm like, oh, that's a really good one. But yeah, so that's what we have so far. Do we have anything else?
We got a pretty full board already, but if we have anything else that's being added into the comments or anything, then we can definitely do that. We will be talking about who gets the toilet this week, so that will be interesting. I don't know if there's really anything else that really needs to be said as far as it adding onto the board, unless there's other topics.
Watchmen.
Oh yeah, we did watch the Watchmen.
We watched the.
Well, we can just talk about that right now, really.
Yeah, let's talk about it right now.
Do you have? Well, it's basically like Alex doesn't like it.
Yeah, I don't really.
Well, I don't like it either, so let's not even talk about
Have
it.
you? What?
Did you watch it?
No,
Then how can you
then
like
how
it?
do you not like it?
because I watched the trailer and I thought that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about the movie?
Yeah,
We're not talking
We're
about
not
the movie.
talking about the movie, the new
Oh.
TV show that just premiered.
is it the same universe?
It's a continuation.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I
It's like a
stand-
sequel.
It's more
I
like.
stand by what I
Yeah,
said.
it's
and
more real world.
Well, you haven't
stuff.
seen the movie.
I know.
The movie is good.
It's very good,
yes,
actually.
the movie is very good.
Yeah, and I heard you can have a birthday while you watch it.
Why? Because it's so long?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's
it
no
is.
longer than any Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are good.
This is
This
a really
is a
good movie. It was a good movie. Trust me, it was good.
It's a good movie. Anyways, so that's my opinion. I don't really like it.
Yeah, it hasn't really touched.
It's not. Yeah, I just
How
don't
many
really
episodes
like it.
have you watched?
It's
One.
It's only been launched on yesterday. Like
One.
yesterday was the
Good.
premiere. So
And I didn't. It's
w-
kind of like, oh, should we try to watch episode 2? But honestly, if something that big doesn't grab me in the first episode, and especially if it's an hour,
There is a show on Netflix called Sinner, and I started watching it because Bill Pullman's in it,
Okay.
who hasn't done much in a long time.
Couldn't tell you.
And I only watched the first half because it just didn't grab me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going back to that. I'm a little bit. You should at least go the full distance on an episode.
Oh, absolutely.
did.
You know, and I didn't. Is what I'm saying.
oh,
That's kind of
But,
how I've been with like. I think I turned off the ranch halfway through an episode of the
Yeah.
not the most recent one, but the season before. I just couldn't do it without Danny Masterson. So.
But like Mindhunter, I didn't have a problem going the distance with the first episode.
Didn't grab you.
Because it did
It did.
keep my attention.
Oh, right on.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Well, we've got this Wednesday, I believe, we've got the season premiere of Castle Rock.
Yep. This
So-
Wednesday.
Yep.
And then Call of Duty's this weekend.
And Call of Duty's this weekend. Not gonna have any
Also-
time to do anything.
Also, another big announcement. Next week will be the last week in the studio. Yep.
That really only matters to us.
Well,
does.
no, it's going to be
And
a
we're gonna
new
have-
look.
I mean, yeah, we'll probably do some kind of new thing. Okay. All right, let's get out of here. Let's light the candle.
Yep, we are going to get out of here. And you guys don't have to go anywhere, actually.
Yeah, you guys don't have to go anywhere. You just sit right there.
Yep.
You just stay right there. And enjoy an
It's an intro, Alex. It's a-
intro. You guys enjoy an intro video while we get set up for the episode.
Yep.
So,
See you guys in a few minutes.
see you guys in a few minutes.
Yeah. There were little rods that people
You
do that. It's like a tuning fork, and you ding it, and it gives you a vibrating sensation.
You've changed, Josh. You've changed.
Not me.
It's time for either or.
you take it and then you just go like this.
Ding. Yeah.
Fail to find the humor.
$1 million, but when you climax,
Oh god.
Oh.
I can't believe we're taking it to this level.
you barf in your mouth.
Yeah, I probably would.
I probably
All right,
would.
ladies, be warned. Brett may puke on you.
He's not getting this offer right now. This is a scenario.
No, this is based on things that will never happen, right?
All right,
Or-
let's do
okay.
it right now.
What?
Let's use this
Go
scenario.
ahead.
Let's do it right
Have
now.
a
Portable system. Battery consumption is definitely
It's not
something
a
you have to
portable
address.
system.
It
It's
is a portable
it's
system.
It's a console hybrid, okay?
It's portable.
A portable system is a PSP. You're meant to take it with you when you need to take a shit. That's about it.
No, that's not about it. People
Where else you gonna
travel
go with
with
it?
it on the airplane.
Oh, and how long's a fucking airplane ride? Do they got an outlet
well,
on
I
an
don't know.
airplane?
You're going to Indiana to LA. How long is it, Josh and Alex?
6
4
hours.
hours.
4 to 6 hours.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Look at that Switch battery lasting almost 6 hours.
Oh,
what do
if
you
it's
know?
charged when you go.
Well, who's going to leave with it half dead?
Well, I don't know. Somebody
Irresponsible
forgets to
people.
charge it.
Well, then don't fucking forget. I don't like the big, thick ones like that
The
because they...
reason for this is so I can carry everything with it. Right there, it holds my Joy-Con covers, and it holds my games inside of these slots here.
Where's your charger go?
You don't need a charger; it's portable.
I just got a Charlie horse in my thigh.
Oh shoot! You okay?
You're gonna fart or
Do
something.
you need something?
Hey, where's your Charlie
Just give me
horse?
time. It's on the bottom of this thigh.
Hey, you can do this. Put your foot out. Put your
I
foot
can't.
Out. Do it.
No.
Oh shoot!
Ah! Put it out. Now flex your foot up, like your toes towards the ceiling. It looks like you're trying to take a shit.
What do you need to
Well, I
do?
don't want it to look like
What do you
that.
want to do?
I'm trying to put my foot over there.
Give me your
Help me. My back's to the camera.
No, you're fine.
Ridiculous.
You're fine. You're okay.
It's
You're okay.
ridiculous.
You're okay. You're
Let's do some
I'm doing some friggin' Christmas trivia. Welcome back to the PTOUnlimited podcast. My name is Brett.
I'm Josh.
Alex.
This is episode 182.
You didn't have an opener.
No, I
Weird
didn't.
thing.
I didn't.
Well, my opener is Alex and I went to the mall on Saturday, and it was actually it wasn't too packed, but it was a little busy. But we went into Victoria's Secret. Now, Brett, as a guy, would you feel weird being left
We've
alone?
had this conversation before.
I don't think we did.
Yes, we have.
Okay, would you?
Would I
Feel weird?
being left alone?
Yeah.
Is she in the store?
Yes.
Yes, but you can't. But she's trying something on or asking an associate a question.
As long as you are in there in the store, then yes.
Well,
it'd
here's
be
the-
fine.
Here's what I had an issue with. We were looking at underwear. She's like, just whatever looks hot, pick it out. I'm like, whatever, okay. That's the thing that we do. And so she wanted to know if there was a specific item that she can go and talk to someone about. She said, keep looking. It's okay.
Wait.
I'll be
what?
back.
What?
She left my side to go talk to an associate, and she said, keep looking.
Why would you do that?
What's wrong with that?
Like,
Why
I'm
don't-
going to dig through the underwear.
Okay, you definitely can't do that.
I know.
Yes, you can. Do you know how many
No,
guys are in there
he
trying to pick
can't.
something out?
No.
No.
A lot.
No. Not without an
He's
associate by
not
their side.
picking it out for a gift.
Right.
And
does-
secondly, why would you try to talk to an associate?
What do you mean? I talk to the ones in Victoria's Secret all the time.
Oh, okay.
They're
She's-
very helpful.
Yeah.
Good.
Like, I'm going to sift through that stuff, though. Like some pervert, Alex.
I'm serious. Like, I'm sitting there,
Absolutely
like,
not.
opening drawers and going through stuff. I'm like, he knows what I'm looking for. I'm like, open up the next drawer and see if you can find what I'm looking for. And he's like hovering over my shoulder. I'm like, you can totally do this. It's okay.
I don't think so. Probably not. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Whatever.
It's-
Here's the deal. I'm a girl, and if I see somebody in there, I'm like, oh, whatever. I don't care if the guy's looking through stuff.
okay.
Doesn't bother me.
Oh, but it bothers me as a
If
dude.
it bothered you, yes. So I agree with him.
I don't know if that makes me kind of reserved.
I've known you for a really long time, and I just don't think that this should bother you anymore. It's kind of like going and picking up, like,
I know, but
tampons or something. Like,
no, that doesn't bother me.
That-
that doesn't
yeah,
bother
that
him,
doesn't
but
bother
going
me.
through
No.
underwear?
It's because you go
You're
to
on display there,
you buy when you buy tampons, you're at a big store with lots of stuff.
right?
You're not at a
But you're going up to the cash register, and you're like, here you
Not-
go.
I always
Self-checkout.
self-checkout. Always self-checkout. I mean, unless I went to, well, our Target is not a super Target, doesn't have self-checkout, so that's a time when I've had to go to the register, and it doesn't bother me. I mean,
Would
whatever.
You go to Target because it's the closest.
It's convenient.
Well, because Kroger's right there too.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't need to give my opinions as to why.
I'm just saying.
Maybe I'm in
I
that
figured
area.
Target would be more expensive.
It's around the same.
Yeah, it's about the same.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I have a red card too that gives me 5%. But whatever, off of that.
I
so,
don't blame you.
No. So what do you want to move into, Brett? We have a lot on the board
I don't
today.
care.
You don't care? So over the weekend, there was a little squabble between Ninja and Lady Gaga. I'm going to start off with this. So
Oh wait, I think I know this. Didn't she say like she doesn't know what Fortnite is?
she tweeted out and said, "What's Fortnite?" And she spelt it wrong, of course, because Fortnite went down last week for a day and a half or whatever.
And
And
everybody flipped out.
all it was a black hole on Twitch, and millions of people were watching it. Even to the
Okay.
point where Pornhub tweeted out and said, "We have better holes to look at than Fortnite."
That's awesome.
But Lady Gaga tweeted this out, and Ninja tweeted at her. Let me see what he said. Shoot, I don't have that up. Crap. He basically said, crap. I have the response after that. She basically tweeted at him, "Who are you?" But he said, "Call me up or whatever. Call me on the phone, and I'll be able to tell you." Basically. Then she said, "Who are you?" to Ninja, and the internet went kind of wild. And Ninja didn't know how to respond to that. Actually, on stream, he was like, "Oh my gosh, Lady Gaga just tweeted at me, asked me who I am." He tweeted at her and said, "Ask Drake," because he's the one that brought Drake into Twitch or
Right,
whatever.
right.
So yeah, that was a whole little squabble on the internet. I don't know how that panned out, but the thing is, people were kind of backlashing Ninja by saying, "Call me and you'll find out," because he doesn't play with girls publicly, but
Right.
he has played with women on his stream before.
He wasn't asking her to play. He was asking her to call him.
I know, but it's
Basically
not just playing. He
insinuating.
he doesn't interact with girls.
Because of his wife or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's been all put up in arms with people not defending him or defending him on that. So yeah, that was really just an interesting thing. And then during this debacle, Lady Gaga fell off stage. Yeah, while she was performing
She did?
over the
Oh,
weekend.
I'm sure that's
yeah.
happened quite a few times, honestly.
Yeah, it was a pretty big of a mess. Actually, I saw the video of it. She felt like she was on top of an audience member there, and they fell off.
Well,
Aw.
I will say, as big as Ninja is, Lady Gaga is a bigger name.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
Yes.
I don't think she was trying to troll him by saying who are you. She probably legit didn't know.
Well, she probably had all these followers liking his tweet or retweeting what he said, so she's probably like, "Wait a minute, who are you?" Or she
Like-
actually was trolling him,
Yeah, I don't know.
Could have been, but
who
I
knows?
I doubt it. But what do I know?
right?
Just speculation.
Jennifer Aniston's on Instagram.
Okay.
You're on Instagram, Brett. Have you followed her yet?
No.
Apparently,
Honestly, I don't follow anybody but people I know on Instagram.
not celebrities. No.
No.
Oh, that's
Mm.
interesting.
I don't know why.
don't know
I
if
guess
I do
because
either.
I never post any pictures. Like I don't take pictures, and I have a side
No, you're good.
topic when
Yeah.
I come back to that. But
No, you can talk about
I
it now.
don't. Well, I'll get to it.
Okay.
I don't post any pictures, so therefore I don't even really care that much about Instagram.
Oh.
Okay.
So the side topic is this actually came up on the local radio show here in town of the number of pictures on people's phones.
Okay. What about it? What's the number?
Let's say so one of the radio personalities on this show has 2 kids.
Okay.
I think one's 3 years old and the other one's 2.
Okay.
Take a guess on how many pictures she has on her phone at this time.
5,000.
I would say around that.
13,000.
Holy cow.
13,000 photos?
So here's
How do you find that out?
well,
you
she's-
go. Actually, I can find out how much
Ooh.
I have right now.
I'm gonna add up my stuff. You can keep going, Brett.
Take a guess on how many I have,
You probably have about 1,000.
Alex.
I'm trying to figure out because I thought it had like a number.
It's on the album.
Oh,
Mm.
that's just pictures.
Yeah. Keep going. Yeah, there you got your numbers.
Oh, but that's all like
Yeah. So what's your Alex? You want
I have like not even 2,000.
to get Brett? Alex?
Guess my number.
Oh, guess your number. 100.
About 220.
Oh. Well, yeah, I have realized. Okay, now this isn't gonna sound. This is gonna
So I
sound
just
weird.
like this. Just my pictures alone is 1393.
Yeah.
This
So
is-
and a lot of that's just to click, 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 like taking different angles of stuff.
Okay, of the same thing.
Yeah, and not deleting it.
Now this is gonna sound weird, Brett. When we had the other iPhone, I was like when I was transferring stuff from iTunes, I realized that you just did not have a lot in your iTunes library of photos. Like you
Yeah.
have automatic uploads, I guess. I don't know.
So here's the thing. I do delete pictures if it's a picture of nothing. Like if I take it just so if I need to reference it later,
Mm-hmm.
then once I know I don't need it anymore, I delete it.
You don't keep memes or anything on your phone, or
No.
No? Oh, dang.
Now the thing is, when I hear this 13,000 number, I'm like, okay, I understand you have kids
Mhm.
and you have to take pictures every day to get to that number.
Practically.
Because she's even said she backs them up on like Shutterfly.
Oh my.
So she's got like 55,000 pictures on Shutterfly.
Oh my god.
And I'm thinking, okay, so the 13,000 pictures on your phone. What if you're looking for a picture? Are you going to
It's
go
gonna
through
sit-
all 13,000 of those? Now I know you can put them in there chronologically or
or
whatever.
Yeah.
albums.
For God's sake, who wants to scroll through 13,000 pictures?
Well, okay, so I only have 1,000 photos from my camera. I have over 2,300 memes.
Yeah, he saves a lot of memes.
I do. That's why whenever there's like something I need to react to, I'm like, gotta go through my phone and find the perfect meme that's gonna have a perfect reaction to whatever someone's saying.
He saves like the weirdest stuff.
I do.
I have
do.
screenshots on my phone, but I
Are
go
they
through like you and
ones-
I purge like the ones that I'm like, oh, I just took this just for
Yeah.
reference.
Are they memes that you've created or that you've just found?
Found. And sometimes they're just gifs of like weird stuff. Like here's one that I have that's just funky. It's just a clock that constantly runs. Something you can stare at that'll freak you out. Don't know why I wanted to save that. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Really, there's
Probably
two
not.
memes that
No.
I've created, and the one I really like. So my buddy at my old job, his desk is always a mess. So I created the meme of Sam Jackson at Jurassic Park sitting at Dennis Nedry's desk, and he said on the top, "Look at this workstation," and underneath, "What a complete slob." And it's actually him like this in the picture, and this just mess of a desk. And I sent it to my friend, and he loved it. So that one I'm pretty proud of.
I remember you telling me about that.
I remember that. We discussed that one, I think, on like the first year we were podcasting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just not a meme person,
No.
but I guess I would understand more if you had created a lot of those. But
I
that
do
would
create
take-
memes.
I know you do.
I
but,
do every week for our podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've never been a picture taker. I mean, it's nice to be able to have it there when you want to.
Mm-hmm.
But even like when I was very involved with Leela, I just didn't take that many pictures.
I also, that 1,300 that I have on my phone, that goes all the way back and was backed up from my last phone.
Yeah.
So that is
Oh yeah, me too.
3.5 years of photos,
Yeah.
and that's how much I have. So I don't really have like a lot. I wouldn't consider that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say you take 13,000, you're going to make an album. Are you going to go through all 13,000 to choose what you want in this album?
I don't.
Who has time to do that?
I don't even have time to do the ones that I want now.
And we have physical photos in the closet or right over there that is just a
just in a
suitcase full of
box.
stuff that's
Yep.
just not even organized.
Yeah.
So that's even.
I think that's how you should have though. Just like, oh, look at this one. Oh, look at this one. So it's
Physical pieces, but then that's even more work.
It is. But yeah, we have yet to put together photo like albums.
It's always been a goal. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna print these photos out.
Ne-
Yeah, never
never
gonna
gonna
happen.
Never do it because you have something better to do actually.
I know.
Something like you're actually like busy.
Well, the thing is, like, when you do that, then you end up going through the photos, and then
and then you start reminiscing and talking
and
about
talking, and then you just don't get to it.
it. You're right. Yeah. So,
That
anyways,
was all.
Yeah.
Just thought it was interesting that I just couldn't believe the number.
I love that number. You know, the
Do
people
you
get
want to
that.
go into our fan topic right
We
away?
can,
like
yeah.
last time.
Yeah. So,
Wait a minute, we didn't. Don't you want to hit the weekend stuff first?
we don't have to. No.
We can just go back and forth. I mean, just have some of the good stuff, like
Yeah.
the beginning.
The
Well,
weekend
like
stuff
everything
isn't
else is
good.
just filler.
Well, I mean,
It's
like-
just not any
Jeez.
good.
Get the audience participation.
All right.
Oh man! So what our subject for this week, our topic actually was what new high school subjects should be added to the curriculum, and we have had people on both fronts saying, "Oh, it should be like real simple stuff like this," or
full disclosure, I really don't like this topic.
why?
Probably
Why?
because it has to do with high school, and I hated high school.
What would you want added to college then?
Well, that's the thing. You can go to college for anything, so that doesn't count.
Doesn't matter. You can add something to it. No, you can't.
Yeah,
not
you can.
everything.
A lot of
there's-
stuff you
if
can
you
go to
can't
college
find
for.
it at college, you can find it online.
Yeah.
class.
Just go to South Harmon Institute of Technology.
That's
They'll have something there.
Was it taking a walk and thinking about things?
Yep.
That was one of the classes.
Yep.
Bullshitting 101.
Lewis Black.
That
and
was accepted reference.
yeah.
Mhm.
So go ahead.
Okay.
We got some comments.
Yeah, we got some comments. So we've got one that says firearm safety. I think a lot of the fear of guns could be diminished with this.
That's interesting to say
So-
that.
So you're
I-
taught in elementary school, at least I was with like the DARE program, like guns are bad, like.
Right.
But got to like hold one
That
or
kind of class would
Yeah.
have to be an elective. Like
Probably a
you gotta
senior
have
year too.
permission to
well, I
take
would
this
think
class.
So. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not going to be required, is what I'm saying.
And
Yeah.
oh man, how would you? Okay, so think about this for a second. You're gonna have, in order to even know what you're doing with a firearm, you're gonna have to have a not necessarily a blank or an actual bullet. Like you have blanks.
Mm-hmm.
That entire whatever the classroom that's in. That's all that's going to be in there is probably just blanks. There's no way there's going to be live
No live
rounds.
ammunition,
Absolutely
Yeah.
not allowed on.
Well, that'd be like the last thing they would teach in school too.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
because, like
it's
having
just
guns and
too
stuff.
sensitive
Yeah.
climate.
It's very.
It's either that or like kind
very
of like
touchy.
for me in college, there was a few classes where I couldn't be taught them in the classroom. I had to go somewhere else to get taught.
That would be what
So
this
it would
is.
be like, all right, well, it would most likely have to be a high school class, would be my guess, and then have that class go to like a firearm place, and then
Right.
they teach you that. So
Like
an
a range?
elective, a range, or
firing
something.
range.
So, but I mean, Brett, you're obviously fine with guns. I'm more like, you can have a gun, that's fine, but I don't know. I'm scared of like pulling the trigger or dropping it and it going off, like, that kind of stuff. So the thing that with the firearm safety, I think that would have been a really good class for me.
Sure.
So
At least something that someone should take
Mhm.
in general. Like safety in general.
Yeah.
It's really good to have.
Yeah, I think that was a good comment. Okay. Taxes and budgeting.
That's a lot of what people are saying.
A lot. The majority of people are saying a lot of stuff
The
with money.
Finances. I got,
Finances.
yeah.
The quote unquote adulting kind of stuff.
Yes.
They
yes,
have that.
an adulting class.
They have finances.
I'm sure there's some type of class, but really the question for this week was, I want this, like, what is something you think should be a requirement to pass, like, get your diploma? Like, you have to be able to do this.
I thought it was just a subject you wanted to add to your to have. I don't know. It was something that you would like.
I mean, we
it
could
has
take it
to be.
both ways, but that's
Right.
kind of what I was aiming for, was, like, I
Mhm.
want this to be, you have to be able to pass this subject to graduate kind of thing.
Well,
Mm.
I think some personal finance stuff was part of like my econ class.
Yeah.
But
I remember
don't-
balancing a checkbook in the 6th grade, and that was about it.
Yeah. I did that in middle school.
I just think it's a chapter,
Mhm.
and then let's move on kind of thing. It's
Right.
It's not really.
I think it should be done
Necessary?
in levels.
It's not expanded view. It's just a quick,
Real basic.
You know,
quick
maybe you
look.
start it in like the 7th or 8th grade, but every year I think it should add or tack on, like, this year we're going to learn how to finance a house. This year we're going to do taxes. This year
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going to see like how to budget yourself if you go to college, if you have a car, like just certain things like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So instead of just, this is the basics and then this is taxes 3.0. Like how to get into that. I think that's great.
I got some
Well,
here,
and
Alex.
I don't remember if the word interest was ever talked about, or at least not as much as it should. But interest rates are.
Yes.
We learned
the
interest.
concept of interest, I think, is just not focused on, and
No.
it should be, because
It-
there's interest.
right.
Anytime you want to borrow money, of course, there's interest.
Mm-hmm.
For I mean,
Most of the
sometimes you can
Interest in
get.
taking your money.
Sure.
Well, I did a class called General Business, and there I think we learned APR and
Okay.
stuff like that. But I don't remember that like sinking into my
That's what I
brain
mean
very
by
much.
it, like tacking it on every year. Because if
Yeah.
you just take it, oh, I took that in 8th grade. Well, you're not going to remember that when you get out of high school. Or, oh, I
Absolutely
took
not.
that junior year. So just one course, one class.
Right.
No, I think it has to be consistent every year. Kind of like math. Like you just keep adding on to math classes.
Right. Right.
So that's what I think it needs to be.
I got another one that someone just basically said, functioning within society. Wow. I mean, that's basic. Interpersonal skills.
Sure.
Yeah. and-
That's what the class could be called. Real
Yeah.
basic, learning how to communicate properly. I was actually we were at the mall. Just go back to the mall. We went into FYE. I was actually looking for Borderlands stuff for my costume for my the party this weekend. And I had an associate walking around, but they weren't paying any mind to me. And I could tell that they did not like human interaction.
Like an employee.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, they were fixing the pop vinyls, just doing real basic straightening stuff. And I was walking by, I was like, well, I don't necessarily need to ask for it because I can look.
Sure.
But I mean, they didn't even ask if I needed any help. And I was like, wow, you need to function better with your job, especially like with interpersonal talking.
Well, and I
at
think
all.
that's actually a really big thing, especially now, especially because there's cell phones and technology, and
Right.
people are communicating kind of primarily through that.
They are.
So it's just we lose those skills, and being able to learn facial expressions and mood, and being able to react to certain things instead of hiding behind your phone. So yeah, that's a very good thing.
Right. You got more, Alex?
I do. Yeah. Bring back home ec and shop and teach kids how to really live instead of having overprivileged do it for me brats.
Wow. That's really like setting a whole
It's kind of harsh.
standard there.
Well, I mean, that was like the kind of the millennial thing that, like, back a few years ago when it became an epidemic. Like, there's millennials and they just want stuff done for them. They don't want to do it themselves. They just want everything handed to them. Like, that was supposed to be like what it was all like, what we were supposed to be about.
Right.
And that's and then there's also the comment that says, not that you're one because I taught you better. I'm so glad that was said. But I think I loved home ec. I liked shop class. Shop class was an elective, but I still think it should stay an elective. I don't think everybody should have to work.
Shop?
Shop
Well,
class.
That it's good for
The standard stuff, like going back to the radio show that's in town, the woman on this radio show, she doesn't know how to check air pressure in a tire.
all pressure gauges have them now. Basically, they're standard.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yes.
actually filled up air
We
this
actually just
weekend.
did it this weekend.
So there
That
was
was
that,
fun.
but she
I
also
gotta stop
didn't
waking
know how to fill
Fill the tire.
up her tire with air. Yes, with an
Okay.
air compressor.
Mm-hmm.
So the standard now,
automotive stuff would be real good.
yeah, but even like checking the oil,
Yes.
air pressure.
I don't.
However,
I don't know how to change oil.
Most-
I've had it shown to me many times. I've never done it.
most cars now, it's all monitored.
Mm-hmm.
So like on my car, on my app, my companion app, it tells me the air pressure in the tires.
Wow, eye roll, big eye roll.
So-
Just thinking about that. It's everyone's gonna come down to just relying on technology so much.
Yeah, but I have changed oil before,
Mm.
but it is a simple procedure. But
Mhm.
if you just don't know tools and car parts,
I know stuff. I've done some. I've done real basic headlight changes and tail light changes and tire
again,
changes.
it comes back to how new cars are because stuff is so tight in there now.
Oh my gosh.
You may have to take apart things just to get to the oil filter.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, when we first saw our Cobalt, when we got that back in 2007, everything was compartmentalized. Everyththing was like, you got your oil here, you got your brake fluid here, you've got your,
It actually looked
everything
organized.
very
versus
organized.
Our
Buick.
19
No, it's 2003.
2003. You open it up, you're like, whoa,
It's an engine.
it's an engine. Where's what?
Yep, that
Yeah.
that works the car right there. That whole thing.
We've got more that says managing finances, budgeting, how taxes, health insurance, and etc. work. Basically, call it how to adult.
I learned taxes.
I didn't learn.
I
well, I don't remember learning taxes.
No.
I really think it was junior or senior year. We had to learn how to fill out like
Your W-2,
a W-2 and then
like a 1040 easy.
some kind of really
basic
really
federal.
basic thing. And they said if you actually had a job to bring in your W-2, and then they'd show us how to do it.
Oh.
But I don't think I did. I don't remember.
No, you didn't have one that
Yeah, I didn't think
was
I had
taking
one.
taxes out.
We've also got another one that says, I don't know how it would be a class, but teaching, again, what you said earlier, interpersonal social skills. I feel it's very important, especially at this age in technology. Also, I believe cooking, minor repairs of vehicles, budgeting, and other life skills are very important.
We just said all of that.
Yeah. And this is all coming from, obviously, these are all adults. So anybody, on here, this is anybody aged, and a lot of these people I'm reading are my age all the way up to their 50s.
Yeah.
That's what I have, but I really think that if there was some type of just like learning anatomy and physiology, I think that you should learn, just because cars are such a big part of our world, especially here in the United States. I think that we should do like anatomy, physiology pretty much on a car.
Yeah.
I think you should learn the ins and outs, the basics of a car, and from middle school to high school. I think it should be just like the math that I was talking about with taxes and stuff. Like, all right, we're going to start here very basics. This is your this is this. And that way, by the time you get out, you were like, okay, I know how to fix that. Or, hey, I actually really need to go to a mechanic for this. Or just, hey, can you fix this for me?
But that also reduces a lot of what people are getting paid for now.
But not just because you learn it doesn't mean you're going to go into it. Doesn't mean it interests you.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
basic.
let's say your car breaks and you take it to the mechanic or whatever. Nowadays, it's more like take it to the dealership and let the licensed Ford repairman do it, Ford
Right.
serviceman. But then they start telling you stuff. And you don't want to look like you have no idea what they're talking about. Because even I struggle with that in some cases where I have a good idea about stuff and they're still talking about stuff. I'm like, all right, let me follow this. Go a little slower. You know what I mean? Whereas someone who has no idea is going to be just completely overwhelmed.
I get that. I really do. Yeah.
Do you have any more comments for you?
I went through a lot of my stuff already. A lot of it's basically saying finances, how to adult, economic stuff, home economics, just real basic
We've
things.
also got on YouTube basic home repair, kitchen, bath.
Yeah, home repair is good
I think
too.
I didn't even think about that. That's a really good
Yeah.
topic. That's
Just
very good. The trade stuff.
Just the simple, how to unclog a sink. Like a bathroom sink.
Right.
Or
How to
You get the
unclog your
Drano.
toilet.
you don't want to do Drano because they are hard on they can be hard on the pipes.
I've
And
always used Drano.
Y'all shouldn't do it here because that should be up to them if they want to put that stuff in their own pipes.
Oops.
How often do you do it?
I can't give you a number.
It was like
all the time?
Not all the time. No,
just when there's a slow clog, I'll pour some Drano down there and then it gets rid of it.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's probably my facial hair. Because I am thick, dude.
I mean, that's probably what they would do, but you should probably check with them first.
I don't know. Anytime there's been a clog and I haven't been able to get it, they come out and they snake it, then it's fine.
As far as unclogging a toilet, the biggest thing about that when you notice the water's rising, take the lid off and
pull the
chain.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't keep
Overflow.
filling with water. And then you can also turn the water off until you get it fixed.
See, I don't know
That's
how to
true.
do that. Oh, yeah, it's a little
There's
knob
a
on the
little
bottom.
knob on
Yep.
the side.
I remember. Now, the only reason why I know that is because your mother, her toilet would never shut off. So when we were living there for that short period of time, we had to when we were done, flush it, let it sit for a minute, and then turn it off.
Wow. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, basic kitchen, bath stuff. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. What are some things that you guys? I have one that recently that I've had to deal with that I wanted to add myself.
Go ahead.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Josh and I recently got life insurance.
Yeah.
And we were never taught ever, like, I don't think it was almost mentioned ever about getting life insurance and how important it is to have life insurance. And I think that kind of stuff is a big thing.
I don't remember being taught it, but I think I just kind of figured it out because once I learned how car insurance works, and then I'm like, okay, so
you have it?
Do I have life insurance through work? Yeah.
Nice.
So I thought, well, heck, what is my debt, and who's going to be responsible for it if something happens to me?
When you think about that, but I never thought insurance would take care of that.
If someone has to bury me, who's going to pay for that? So I'm like, oh, that's what life insurance is.
Just do whatever you want to me. I'm at that point. I'm not using it anymore.
So,
cremate me. I don't care.
There's so many different things. Like I don't know what the class would be called, but I don't know if it's just called insurance class because you've got life insurance, car insurance, home insurance.
Anything can.
Pretty much, almost anything can be insured. And honestly, the first couple times that we sat down with our what do you want to call him?
Your insurance man?
Sure. Well, the first couple
Salesman.
times we sat down with him, it was kind of, okay, can you explain that again? It's very difficult, even as a 30-year-old, to kind of go, all right, I get you, and now we're lost in numbers. And then I ended up, I think the last time I was there, when I finally signed everything, I was there for 3.5 hours. And he was very personal, very like, hey, you got any questions? And the way it worked for me was, all right, here's the scenario. If this happened tomorrow, or if this happened, what happens? And why does that number matter? And what does this number do?
Yeah.
And that's the best thing to do is if you don't understand something, because at first it was like, yeah, I think I get it. And then I went home and I'm like, wow, I don't really freaking get it at all.
Well, the interesting thing about life insurance is that it can have cash value if you buy the right kind, and you can actually cash it out later
if you outlive your policy.
Right. So
wow.
That's a good thing.
You don't have that with like auto insurance.
No.
No.
But the other thing too would be health insurance. Josh and I did not get health insurance, or at least Josh didn't. I got it just because it was offered through work, and it only took like.
Well, I had it through my parents until.
You were 26 or 25, whenever
the cutoff.
The cutoff was, but after that, we didn't get him insurance until he was 28. It was like 2 years. You went at least 2 years, but I had never had insurance.
Yeah.
And really, the only reason we got him into it because we had to. Like
Obamacare.
Like the Obamacare thing. Like we had like, oh, you're gonna get penalized if you don't get an insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was
it was
like 6 months to a year after we got it that we saw how helpful it is, because that's when he had his thing.
You definitely you want health insurance because you never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but I was never taught about insurance.
Yeah.
So I think that's a very important class.
Absolutely, like the basic,
and that also goes with financing.
The basic needs and financing and stuff. That's actually really
how are you going to support yourself and not have somebody else support you.
Right. That's why you got
independent adulting.
So you're
101.
saying right. There you go. So you're saying because they're not teaching these things, you got people living at home with their parents.
Well,
yeah.
I don't think that matters.
I think it does
I
a
was
little.
I think
jokingly generalizing.
I'm thinking they'd probably be, even if they taught that stuff, they
still be
might
lazy.
Still be at home anyway.
Yeah. Never know. People just need to have that ambition to learn those things, and you have done more of that than I ever have. I don't think there was anything on Instagram, Alex.
I was just double checking, but I didn't think there was any comments.
Yeah. So we were talking about basically health insurance, and we were talking about what happens to you when you die. So this gentleman, I'm going to move on to a subject here that's kind of an interesting, not really interesting. It's kind of a sad segue. A guy donated his mother's body to an Alzheimer's research facility back in 2013. Turns out the body was sold to the military instead through that research facility. So he found out that his mom's body was strapped into a chair and detonated by an IED to do car testing with IEDs. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff in this investigation going on. Investigations into the body donation facilities across the country have had similar money-making efforts going on too. Places such as Detroit, Chicago, and in Colorado. So those kinds of places are getting money off of this kind of stuff. Some people have received cement dust instead of cremated bodies due to this kind of stuff that's going on. The reason why it took so long to make headlines is because the FBI have discovered other instances, like they found Frankenstein bodies in these research facilities where detached heads were replaced by other heads. Heads in buckets, body parts in buckets, kind of selling off body parts to the black market kind of stuff going on here.
Shady.
Holy cow.
That's like something out of a horror movie.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, buckets of parts they found in freezers and stuff like that. This stuff has made headlines recently. It was like a couple weeks ago. I saw it all over Twitter. Really shady stuff.
I don't even know what to say about that.
I don't even know either. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's
I might have to if let's just say you die before me, I might have to watch you get cremated and have your ashes given to me.
Oh my God, isn't that kind of just the worst that you have to go that far to watch your loved one go into the furnace, that kind of thing.
I don't want your I get it that you're not there. Like half of me is going, you know what? Once you're gone, this is just my belief. Once you're gone, you're gone. Your body's just an empty vehicle. So the fact that if I were to get strapped to a chair after I'm dead, it doesn't really matter.
But
it's the idea.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happened to my mother's body. Like I get it. I get that portion of it. So I'm very torn.
I was gonna say if you decide to donate a body, who knows where it could go. I mean,
Exactly.
That was my other argument.
Where-
Once you donate it, that is your you're giving it to whatever.
If you handle a licensed mortician to handle the burial or cremation process,
Right.
you're probably going to be okay.
So the thing about the donation and all that, see, for me, strap me to the chair. I don't care.
Okay.
Do some research on me.
Maybe I'll just like have part of you cremated.
Okay. I don't know where to go with that.
I don't know.
But yeah,
It's just a very weird thing to talk about.
That was a topic that I read, and I was like, I have to, at least, say this. It's really messed up that, donation facilities are getting profits off of people's, research that they were hoping, because what they wanted was research on Alzheimer's. That's what this was for.
Yeah.
Like the guy donated his mother's body because she had
Maybe
Alzheimer's.
it's in the fine print that says if they're stocked up on bodies and don't need one,
Right.
it gets
be.
put to use.
Yeah.
Could
So I look at it like that. You signed a piece of paper that says, "Hey, you don't want this empty vehicle anymore, and we're gonna use it to."
He could always sue him,
Now, they were saying, like, after the research would have been done off of the body, that's when they were going to get cremated.
Sure.
So that's why I was stating some people have received cement dust instead of actual cremation ashes.
Right.
Now, how do you
See,
know
that's
that?
messed up. If you're actually saying you can donate this, but I want the ashes back when you're done, and you get cement, that's messed up.
Well,
Yep.
you're not. How are you gonna know?
Exactly.
I'll know.
You won't know.
The smell of a burned up body as opposed to a cement?
I mean, I've seen.
You're really gonna.
I've seen cremation
You're
dust.
gonna try. You would.
sniff it?
You were gonna look at it and be like, "Is that? Am I sure that's his?"
Can I make a
ashes, or is it
sidewalk out of
actually
Josh right
dust?"
now?
I'll have like a square in front of the house. Oh, don't step on Josh.
That's Josh right there. Oh, dear.
Oh, God,
Well,
that's
I don't
kind
think
of
it would be
creepy.
enough to make a sidewalk square. You could probably make a paperweight.
Right.
Paperweight.
Clone a Willie.
Josh the paperweight. Wow.
Cement. Josh.
Josh, stop it. Stop.
Yeah, that's going
Now
somewhere.
we're off subject.
Get
Just,
out of that.
no.
Oh,
We're done.
that's funny. That's funny.
It is. but-
Yeah. Do whatever you want to my body when I'm gone. I don't need it.
Okay.
Just saying. What do you, I mean, what would you want done?
I don't know. I can sell you.
Yeah.
I won't need to now that we have insurance.
Yeah. And I was like, just see where it goes from there. Just don't kill me.
Just don't kill me. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on from there. Let's get
All
off
right. No
that.
more dead body.
No more
talk.
dead body talk. What do you want? Brett, you got the list there.
Let's do the movie club.
Movie
Let's do
club. So what the movie club is every week we pick a movie to watch, whether 1/3 of us has seen it or none of us. And we've had audience suggestions this month for horror films. And this week we watched A Quiet Place. And we're going to do full spoiler chat on this. So whether it's whether it's the beginning to end kind of stuff, or
Front
it's
to
just,
back.
I was going to front to back, whether it's front to back, talk about our likes and dislikes. So yeah. So what did you think of A Quiet Place, Brett?
It was fine. I didn't love it, but
I turned the audio up specifically for this movie.
Yeah.
Like I had it loud because that is how it felt.
Yeah,
in
I know
the
you had
theater.
it loud.
Yeah.
so
Was
I
it too
didn't-
loud?
I
I
didn't.
was like,
I didn't think
yeah.
it was all that scary. There were intense parts,
Mm-hmm.
but you jumped like
She jumps
4 or
out of her
5
chair.
times.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once. I didn't remember I only remembered like the front part, the first jump scare on the bridge where the thing grabs the kid
Yeah.
or kills the kid or tears apart, whatever he does to him. I knew about that one,
All of the above.
but I didn't know when it was going to happen. And all the other scary parts, I'm like, I don't remember this. I don't remember this. I know it's supposed to be scary soon.
Right.
I didn't like that John Krasinski sacrificed himself.
It's what any father would do, though.
Yes, but it felt like he didn't maybe need to, because did they drive back then? I didn't get it.
They
They
took it out of
The parking brake.
So it rolled 2
Just
miles an
Yes,
hour.
it rolled.
all the way home.
Yeah.
It was a hill.
It was a hill. You at the end you
Oh,
saw
okay.
it rolling.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was, I think, okay, so throughout the entire thing, you're seeing all these parts that are laid out around their farm. I'm going to guess they had a lot of escape route plans.
Sure. Okay.
And that makes sense because, they had that mattress floor. They had that car rolling. They had the lighting. So everything, if it turned red, something's bad going on or,
Right.
that
Lots
kind of
of
stuff.
planning.
A lot of planning. That's the kind of stuff. And luckily, now I'm wondering, did the entire cast learn sign language? Because it looked pretty legit. Especially, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt doing their...
I wonder if it's like real sign language.
Yeah.
I would think it would be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you think about it, it's like, okay, imagine yourself in that situation.
There's actors and actresses that learn different languages just to be in a movie.
Yeah.
So I don't think
But
that...
they only learn the lines they need to know.
Okay, and they only need to learn the lines they need to know in sign language.
This is very
Probably.
ironic we're talking about this because that was that new high school subject
That was the other
sign
one.
language.
Oh, we didn't talk
as a
about
foreign
that.
language.
Yeah, the foreign language. They want. I had a suggestion that sign language be a
Foreign
topic,
language, yeah.
like a foreign language. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a great idea. I would have taken sign language.
Absolutely, yeah. So, anything else you wanted to say about it? I mean,
I thought the idea of her actually giving birth and the baby's not
bathtub.
crying, like really, like,
it's not out yet. At that when
it
she was in the
gets
bathtub.
out, and the fact that this thing can hear anything and it didn't hear that.
I
But
did
you-
notice that you shook your head.
But
Yes.
when you notice, like, the baby's coming out, she's screaming, and then the big
Oh.
fireworks go off. If you remember during the waterfall part, he says, unless there's something louder.
All right.
So the baby scream is not going to be as loud as a firework.
I thought the
Absolutely.
fireworks were over at the point where she was giving birth.
No, that's when they started.
No, it's when they started. She screamed, and then the
Oh.
fireworks went off, and then it
Okay.
distracted it and ran.
Mm-hmm. That was an intense scene. That was great.
But then also when it's in the basement and the son is holding the baby, it's not crying.
it doesn't have to cry
It
at all
doesn't have to cry all the time.
It's a newborn infant.
Does it? Do newborn infants cry 24 hours?
But there's a lot of stuff going on around it.
But if you introduce a baby to that as a natural environment, it's not going to know that that's. That's what they say. Don't try to be quiet all the time when you have a baby, or else, like, if you do that, you drop something. You're like, oh my god.
I'm just saying that it just seemed a little too convenient. I know it's a movie.
I'm gonna say it's
but-
also a movie.
Right. I think that this movie was tension at its best. Like, it needs to be watched with good audio. Needs to be watched. No sounds.
Nothing.
No outside sounds, because there are some quiet scenes, and then also of course the music that chimes in when you know something's about to happen. It gets really
Brett, you couldn't
intense.
watch her step on the nail.
No, I had to look away.
But you
from
watch
it.
Marv do it on Home Alone,
Yeah, but he's got tar all along the bottom of his foot.
and it went through like.
Oh yeah.
in that, well, it looked like that's how they made it look, of course. Or no, Emily Blunt got paid a lot of money for a nail to go through her foot.
I doubt a nail actually
I
went
doubt
through
No,
it.
It's
I'm
a
joking. Oh my God, my sarcasm today is not on point. I guess people think I'm
No.
so serious. No, the one thing I disliked about it is the kid's stupidity, the entire time.
Which kid?
Both.
No.
It-
Well, I mean,
They're kids.
I know they're
Exactly.
kids. That's the only thing I can take away from it.
But all right, here's the other thing.
Their character
when the movie
stupidity.
starts, it says day 89. They're only 3 months into this big thing to change their world. They're used to being able to talk, being able to be loud. So to just go ahead and teach these kids that are at 13 maybe, it was probably as old as the oldest girl, and then he's got to be like 10, 11.
They're probably even younger than that.
Yeah, maybe even. So to learn all of a sudden, we have to be really quiet. We can't be kids. We can't do this.
She was
like,
deaf already,
Yeah, but
so it'd be the boy's issue, and he actually. His medical issue that they showed at the beginning, they didn't have that happen again. Like it was just like
it was
had
just he
an
was
issue.
sick.
Yeah.
They were there to get medication.
Hmm.
He was not feeling
oh
good.
yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
They were at the convenience store to get meds. That's all.
The jumps were funny watching you just
You did.
Whatever.
you leap out of your skin. It's a very short movie too, and it's they've penned it for a sequel.
Well, you knew there was going to be. It's just the way it ended.
Didn't have to have a sequel.
Man, I don't think it needs
Pretty-
to have a sequel.
But are you surprised?
Kinda.
They wrote it. I'm sure they wrote it with that ending so that if it did well, there could easily be a sequel.
I think Emily Blunt got an award for Best Supporting Actress. I think it was from the Screen Actors Guild.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like an Academy Award, but I remember her. I did see that she got an award for the movie for as well as she did too. You know, performing, you know, as a pregnant woman, you know, and then going into the bathtub.
And you can't be loud. Like,
and
you
then
have to perform it with your facial expressions.
And she did very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she did very well. The whole hearing aid thing, it kind of gives you like signs.
I'm going to say, it reminds me a lot of the movie Signs.
And I'm going to kind of ruin another movie in a sense, Bird Box, because Bird Box is a lot about you can't look at it.
Sure.
This one is you can't
talk. It can't hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't the first time in horror/sci-fi where the monster was sensitive to sound.
What's another one?
Tremors.
Oh, I forget about Tremors.
It's a way less serious.
Yeah, that's probably why I
Thriller.
forget about it.
It's an old classic. I like it.
Yeah, you can like it. I hear
thank you.
I hear they're remaking it.
Well, why not? You know, they remake everything else.
Yeah. So, any other final thoughts about this movie? It's a real, just John Krasinski did a really good job. He directed it. He did.
I think he directed and wrote it.
I thought he wrote it too.
He did screenplay or something like that. Yeah.
Like a lot of that was his movie.
It wasn't
So-
just his. Actually, there were the creators. There were two other guys, and then he joined in on it, and then he became the director, and then he also starred in it. And the chemistry between him and Emily Blunt, of course, they're married and everything, but they had good on-screen chemistry.
I
in my
mean, John
opinion.
Krasinski's just good on screen.
You have to watch Jack Ryan then, Alex,
He's my
if you really want to.
favorite. He's my one of my two favorite actors in Hollywood right
He's one of my favorites. Absolutely, yes. I loved him in was it 13 Hours?
Is that what it's called?
now. Yes.
Whoa,
That was
we had a flicker.
Power
we should
flick.
probably.
We're still good.
I know, but we should probably take a look at. I know we're supposed to be having a really nasty thunderstorm here.
We're still
Um,
we're still live
Yes, you need to watch Jack Ryan. Why won't you watch that?
because we don't have
I
Prime.
don't have the time right
I
now.
thought you had access to it.
No,
Oh no, I don't know what that's from. All
that was a
of
weird
the-
flicker. No, we don't have access to Prime.
I thought you had somebody's Prime.
Well, we have access to
To
buying stuff
yeah.
on Prime, but
Oh.
yeah,
Well, if you have access to that, you have access to Prime Video.
unless it's being used. But yeah. So Alex, what is next movie?
I'm really hoping Brett hasn't seen it.
Go ahead.
Blair Witch.
Ugh, God, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, you've
fucking
not
movie.
seen it. Yay!
I've only seen this movie once.
I've only seen it once. And wait, was it just when you and I watched it together?
Yeah, about 10 years ago.
So here's the deal. So Josh picked one that he's only seen part of, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, it was super scary when I watched it," and that was The Exorcist. And I'm like, "Man, what have I watched?" I was like, "Man, I thought it was super scary when I watched it," and I'm like, "I don't know if it's gonna be that scary." And I'm like, "You know what? I just got done playing the Blair Witch. Let's do the Blair Witch. And I'm gonna see if it's still scary."
Now, Brett, this might be okay to watch because it is pop culture. Like, it made a big boom in the 90s, just like
This
The
is like- this
Exorcist
is-
did,
yeah,
and
but
Halloween.
This
It's
is
iconic.
also this is also
Too bad the sequel just ruined the whole thing.
Never
I saw
seen
the
it.
sequel, and it's horrible. I didn't even see the remake.
This was like kind of like the way this paved the way for like Paranormal Activity.
and other found footage films.
Yeah.
We're not
So,
gonna
'cause
be
nobody
able
knew.
to watch this one together, though. Probably.
Probably not because Friday is mine and Alex's anniversary.
And I'm
Yeah,
not watching Blair
I'm-
Witch on my
I'm-
anniversary. I'm sorry.
I'm busy on Friday anyway.
Maybe
Saturday's the party.
Saturday's the party.
Sunday, maybe?
Sunday I'm working.
Oh, not all day.
No, but I will likely not want to watch it when I get home.
So when are you gonna
'Cause
watch it?
Sunday is our busiest day.
When are you gonna watch it?
I don't know. I may have to watch it during the week.
Thursday, probably.
We can do it on during the week.
We can only do it on Thursday. That's
Yeah,
our
you're right.
only
We can
open
only do
day.
it on Thursday. Okay, so anyways,
Blair Witch.
Blair Witch this week for
Now, is it the Blair Witch Project or Blair Witch? Because Blair Witch is the remake.
the Blair Witch Project?
Okay, you need to say that
Okay.
because the other one.
I didn't
is
realize that's the remake.
Yes, it is. It's called Blair Witch.
Okay, Blair Witch Project from 2000,
No,
99,
let me look it up.
98.
Jeez, stop
I
saying
think
numbers.
It's 99.
I think it's 99 as well.
Yeah. It's either 99 or 2000. That's my guess.
99.
All right.
Yep.
Called it.
So hour and 21 minutes. So we're going for some short
Yeah,
films
those-
here.
Well, I mean, I don't think horror films are. I mean, we've got It Chapter 2, which was
Almost 3
hours.
hours.
And then we've got these little jump scare ones that are just like, we're going to terrify you, and you're going to wonder, when is this movie going to be over?
Speaking of movies, real quick, did you
Yeah, go
see
ahead.
that Zombieland got a really good review?
We should see that sometime.
I want to see it
whenever
just
we
because
have
I really
time.
liked. I really
Double
liked the
tap.
first one.
It might have to be the weekend we move. That would be the only time we have to.
You're not seeing a movie the weekend you move.
Why?
Because
Don't tell me
you're
how to live
gonna
my
be-
life.
I'm saying you're not going to because you're going to be busy fixing stuff.
Yeah,
and she agrees.
I kind of agree. I don't think. Why are we gonna go see a movie the weekend we're moving?
What are you talking about? All of our furniture is going to be set up by the delivery people.
You still have to
We
unpack.
have boxes and stuff.
What do we have to unpack that isn't already just going to be available to us at that? No, this is going to be. I will get that done inside of an
Boy,
hour or two.
You weren't even here the last time you moved.
I have moved plenty of times in my
Not the
life to
last
know a
time.
time frame of how long it'll take me to unpack.
This time he's doing a lot of the moving.
I am doing a lot of the moving.
I agree with you, though.
We'll
Or
see.
You agree with me.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm going to
I
see
don't
it out of spite because
Not
you
to
told me
mention-
that I'm not going to see a movie on the weekend I move.
Not to mention that the
I'll
very
frickin' see it just out
2
of
days
spite.
later, you got to set up the studio.
I'll be setting it up the day we move
Okay.
because I will be streaming Saturday morning.
Okay.
I have to test our internet. I have to do it.
We can do that as soon as they come in and they set it up on that Friday.
You're going to do a stream on Friday night?
No.
Okay, that's what I mean by testing. You have to test it.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't think I'm going to have time to do this kind of stuff?
No, we're moving. We're gonna be really tired.
Wow.
And we're not gonna want to do
You're
anything.
I'm going to be focused on getting everything that's already needing to be set up for the weekend set up like the first day. You have no idea. I'm going to be focused.
Okay. Because I'm not.
I love that you guys are laughing at me. You guys obviously don't know my unpacking skills because how often have I moved, Alex?
a lot.
A
but
You
lot.
haven't moved in like 6 years.
That doesn't matter. I have moved plenty of times prior.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
You're not.
We have less stuff now than we ever
You're
have.
not 24 anymore, dude.
But we have less stuff.
Good.
Less. We've gotten rid of a lot of things. We're not going to. Okay, first of all, the couches downstairs, we're not moving those into our place. They're getting moved to some other person's house.
Some other person.
I didn't want to say who it was who's taking our couches because our couches they need to go. They're old.
Somebody wants something.
They're good quality for other people. We're getting new stuff. So,
Yeah.
and that stuff is being moved for us. So the stuff that we really have to worry about is what's in the studio and our bedroom.
Yeah.
Bam, in boxes. It's fine. Everything's already packed.
Okay.
Wow, good argument there, Brett. I'm gonna go see a movie just to spite you now. I don't even
I
care.
might be sleeping on our new couches.
So when I come over on Monday, everything's gonna be unpacked. Is that what you're telling me?
Did I say everything? I'm gonna say what's necessary, what's needed. Okay, so I'm not gonna. You want me to unpack the Halloween stuff on November 1st, Brett? No, it's not gonna be relevant anymore.
You made it sound like we were gonna have everything unpacked.
The stuff that we need to have unpacked, which is the studio and the bedroom and the kitchen.
In the living.
No, we don't need the living room unpacked. You want to take out all those movies?
No, but they're eventually gonna be taken.
We have to
out.
buy shelves for that.
We have a shelf. We're keeping one.
This is a great conversation
I
we're having
know.
right now. All right, let's move on from that. So let's talk about Jared Leto, Brett, since you brought it up.
Oh, I read a thing where he pretty much took his ball and went home.
Yep, he's no longer
Oh,
going to be
really?
the Joker.
Yeah.
He's no longer Joker.
Well, what's interesting is
It's
he's like,
rumored.
I probably won't even reprise my role if they ask me, which means he doesn't want to, quote unquote. But if they ask him, he's like, well, I didn't say I wouldn't do it at all. I said I probably wouldn't. So if you want
Yeah.
me to do it, I'll go ahead and do
They're
it.
going to cast a new Joker for after the Suicide Squad. They will. They
'Cause
absolutely
they're
will.
tired of his pettiness.
Did you see that they cast for the Riddler?
No.
And
No.
they,
Yes.
they also cast for Catwoman.
Oh, I saw Catwoman.
That's interesting because Catwoman is going to be Catwoman is Jason Momoa's stepdaughter. I have it written down here. Stepdaughter is Catwoman, and
Okay.
he's Aquaman.
Who is it?
Oh, her name Zoe Kravitz.
What about the Riddler?
The Riddler is a name that you wouldn't be familiar with.
Is it a nobody?
No, we've seen him before on Taking Lives. I don't remember his name. Taking Lives, the Angelina Jolie movie.
Oh,
How-
it's like 20 years old.
Oh,
Yeah.
that really old movie?
Yeah. Fine. Jeez.
I don't.
You guys are all against me
I
today.
know, but you know me. I don't know names. If you gotta show me a picture of the person.
Okay, so the Riddler is being cast. I'm trying to find him. Mike Paul Dano.
Yeah, that doesn't sound familiar at all.
Here, let me pull them up. Fine, accept these cookies.
Yeah, I don't recognize him.
Nope.
No?
No.
We've seen him before.
Okay.
He's also on we watched him on a horror movie that I can't remember what it was though. But yeah, he has a recognizable face for me. I've seen him in Hollywood before, in Hollywood movies. So yeah, he's going to be the Riddler. So they're casting, and Robert Pattinson still being the Batman.
I'm okay with that.
He did say something about the bat suit looks really cool or something.
Jonah Hill walked away.
Yeah, because wasn't he in talks to play the Riddler?
I think he was either the Riddler
or
Penguin.
Yeah.
Now, I want a new villain. Why are they doing these revamps?
No. I don't think Jonah Hill would have made a good one.
I think it would have been a good Penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Why are you shaking your head?
Jonah Hill in my head is always going to be the same character he always is, which is on Superbad. Like
you need to
it's
move
been in a
past
lot of
that.
movies since
I
then.
know,
Yeah.
but that is my.
You saw Wolf of Wall Street. He's a completely different person there. You saw 21 and 22 Jump Street.
Yeah, that's
not
that's the same thing. He's funny. He's a comedian.
But it's not it's not the same comedy as Superbad.
He's in Moneyball too, which I have not seen, but kind of a nerdy character in that.
I just don't think I'm going to be able to see him.
He's not going to be in the Batman, so don't worry about
I'm trying to say that if he was the Penguin or the Riddler or whoever, I wouldn't be able to see him as the Riddler. I would see him as that's Jonah Hill.
What Batman villain would you want in a Batman movie that hasn't been in a movie yet?
Clayface.
I was thinking the same.
Yep.
There's also
I don't know.
Man-Bat.
Man-Bat. Yeah, but Black Mask, which I thought was kind of like a Two-Face character.
I think they introduced Black Mask into the end of Justice League, if I'm not mistaken. I think at the end he's on that boat. I'm pretty certain. Oh, no. Actually, I think he's being... hold on. I don't want to sound like we don't know what we're talking about.
It's too late for that.
We don't know what we're talking about. At least I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I think he's going to be in the Harley... Yep. He's Ewan McGregor's portraying him in Birds of Prey.
Okay.
Oh.
I knew it was... I was like, I didn't want to say that without looking it up.
Another villain you could... hasn't been in a Batman movie yet. Mad Hatter would be a good one.
It's because people mistake that for Disney's property.
Oh, yeah. I
But
think about that.
Yeah, but I don't think that Scarecrow was portrayed properly.
By who?
We
Nolan?
haven't had a good
You're
Scarecrow.
gonna bust Nolan's balls over that?
Cillian Murphy did it.
You're up his ass.
Why?
I mean, you really like him.
What?
You
What's
really
happening?
you really like Christopher Nolan.
I
yet
do.
You're criticizing his Scarecrow.
I don't think it
I
was
don't think he had a big
Scarecrow enough.
He didn't have a big enough part.
Yeah, he was more of
He
a
was
side
just a
villain
side-
for
side
all.
villain.
He was in all three.
Now, if they keep
wasn't all
if
three.
they keep
Yeah.
the same guy, whoever that is,
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, I like that actor, and if they just do a side thing, like or make a movie with that would I really like him.
They'd recast.
I'm looking at. You know what? I think we need a new Poison Ivy. Because we got a new Bane. Let's get new Poison Ivy.
If you forget about the Joel Schumacher
And everybody does.
Batmans, you could go. There's 4 villains right there, but they've been on screen before.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at other ones, and none of them.
I'm trying to think who shows up in the.
Ooh,
I'm trying to think of
Jason Todd would
villains.
be a good villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the red. Or was it the red mask? Was that Mask of the Phantasm? Crap.
Mask of no, that was a woman.
Okay, let's move on from that.
That was a woman.
Red Hood. That's what it was.
Red
The Red
Hood,
Hood.
okay.
Yes, the Red Hood. That was actually.
I was
saw
about
that.
to say Killer Croc, but I'm like, oh, he's in Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was terrible.
Which is where No, he wasn't.
It was a terrible. Killer Croc is huge.
They tried to portray him as like a human hybrid, not like the 9-12 foot tall guy that they show in Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, that was maybe a little over.
I gotta play those. That would be a campaign I could play as the Batman. I tried Arkham Asylum. I stopped when I got to Mr. Freeze.
And that's Arkham City.
No, Arkham Asylum.
You don't see him in Arkham Asylum.
Then why do I remember there being a Mr. Freeze part?
There, you see his cell that's got ice all built up around it, but you never actually see him.
Maybe I'm thinking of Arkham City then.
Because there is a extensive part with Mr. Freeze in Arkham City.
So Jared Leto's not gonna play the Joker anymore. Sad face.
No, and he's all,
Are you upset about that, Alex?
I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, all childish about it.
We'll see. We'll see what DC brings out. So,
What's about Domino's? Or did you do that one?
No, I did not. But good thing we've been kind of talking about
Pizza.
Well, I would love to have a pizza right now, even though we had it over the weekend. I'm
You
starving.
had it yesterday, right?
We had pizza yesterday.
Yeah. See, I'm starving.
Did you eat it all?
No.
No.
Go eat it.
No, we threw it away.
No.
What?
I don't like to
Josh
reheat
doesn't
pizza
like to
very
reheat
often
pizza.
anymore. I've been doing it
What
for
about you?
so long.
I don't care.
Why don't you save it then? That's just wasteful.
I can't have pizza that often. I only have pizza like
Well,
every
if
once
you
in a
told
while.
me you were going to throw it out. I'd have give you $1 and I'd have taken it myself.
Or you just could have taken it. I said, do you want any pizza? You said, no, thank you.
Well, I didn't want any right then.
Yeah. Okay, so Domino's, there's a blind man suing Domino's for their website not being handicap accessible.
Okay.
How do they make it? How do you make it?
I'm gonna guess when your mouse goes over at audio.
Is that a thing on regular websites?
Some websites have that, and they're fighting that. You know, it's being sent to the Supreme Court.
Jeez.
I don't know how it's getting that far.
Just get a settlement.
This sounds like a joke.
I understand if this blind person really wants to navigate their website,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't know what he's looking for is a common thing among other websites.
Well, no. See, we don't know anybody
Does that
who's
mean
blind.
everybody else, Pizza Hut and Little Caesars and everybody else that has a pizza website, they're all there, but Domino's doesn't?
I would. That's
would
not
think that
an
Domino's-
unreasonable thing to think if the way I look at it.
You would think they would have it because Domino's has everything that's experimental under the sun. You know, they have the
Yeah, they got
hotspot
the-
sites.
They have the insurance, right?
Yeah, and carry out insurance, and they have. Okay, see, I've never tried that. I just wonder how like rude of a customer you have to be to get that. I don't know. I'm looking up anything else that they say that the lawsuit is just. I can't believe it got proceeded that far. You know.
Yeah.
It says right here a U.S. Supreme Court on Monday they rejected the appeal from Domino's to not have this lawsuit go through.
Really?
Yeah.
So they really want to take this all
To
the
court.
way? All
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, I don't really understand. So basically, the decision was left alleging that the website and app didn't comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act. The alleged inaccessibility of Domino's website and app impedes access to the goods and services of its physical pizza franchises. Call them then, for heck's sake. You can use a phone. You can call them. Say, okay, so and so.
I would
company.
think so, but I don't know.
It's stupid.
I don't want to sound insensitive to blind people because I'm not, but I don't understand how they can do what they want to do other websites, yet they can't do it with Domino's.
Yeah, we seem to have a lot of chat about blind people on the podcast. We were talking about the walking stick.
That's the smart stick.
Yeah. So it's just something I wanted to bring up. Nothing really interesting else to say about that. I just can't believe that that's gone that far.
I can't believe Domino's just hasn't, like you said, settled
Well,
it.
maybe they thought, well, we can beat this.
Yeah,
or
right?
maybe they could. Maybe they should have been like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. You know what? That's a good idea. We should probably put that on our website. You know what? Here's a free pizza,
They're
or
giving
pizza
out their
for
pizzas.
a year,
There's
or
a stack
whatever."
of free pizzas.
Yeah.
Do you like Domino's?
I think so, but I don't have it very often. I haven't had it in a long time, and I should have it sometime because it's cheap.
But it's good.
It's good.
They have good chicken.
And it's on the way home from work.
They have good chicken on their
You know
pizza.
what's
Like if you
really
get chicken on
good?
your pizza,
Yeah.
it's good.
They got good garlic knots.
No, they
Okay.
don't.
Yeah, they do.
Are they filled with cheese?
No.
Can you get them filled with cheese?
I don't know if my mouth is watering thinking about
So we need
it.
to have
It's
pizza
so
2 days
yummy.
in a row,
No,
Alex.
no carbs.
Well, we're gonna have to have something carb weighted because I am starving right now. So, moving on from that, let's talk about the NFL.
Yep.
Because we haven't touched on it, fantasy.
So,
Let's talk about fantasy first.
well, this is my worst year, probably since my first year.
I don't get it this week.
Yeah.
I don't get the toilet this week. I win this week. Weird scenario. Patrick Mahomes is my quarterback.
I want to talk about him.
Oh, and you had Thielen.
No, I didn't.
I thought you did.
He had Thielen. The guy who I was
the
facing
guy
had
that you
Thielen.
had Thielen. So Thielen went out on his team. Mahomes went out on your team, and you still ended up. Beating him.
My quarterback still made more points than his quarterback.
I want to talk about Mahomes.
Let's talk about his stupidity.
Well, it's not his stupidity. So he played Thursday night.
Yes.
And he's had this ankle issue, which is clearly affecting his play. So what's interesting, I know what you're going to say, it's his fault. So there was a 3rd and short situation, and
it was 4th down.
Whatever the case is, it was a short yardage to go for first down.
Mm-hmm.
And Troy Aikman even says on the broadcast, I wouldn't expect him to go for it because a lot can happen underneath that pile on a quarterback sneak.
Mm-hmm.
And so they didn't. They ran another play. He didn't. Same situation again. And he does a quarterback sneak, and he gets hurt.
But it wasn't.
Why would you have him do a quarterback sneak when his ankle is already hurt?
It wasn't what was injured, though, is what I'm going to argue.
Wasn't it
Something
his
I don't think
else?
it matters. I don't think
Any
it
other
matters.
quarterback would do a sneak like that, I'm sure, if they had the...
Andy Reid is the play caller for Kansas City, the offense.
He doesn't...
He
Patrick
called that
Mahomes
play.
doesn't have a say in what he does.
He might, but Andy Reid is the offense of Kansas City.
Well, has he come out and said I told him to do it?
I don't know. But
Well, that would just really make or break this argument
he
right
may,
now.
Right?
he may have said may have thought, well, Tom Brady, he does it all the time where they have 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1. And he just basically he takes a snap and falls down and he's got a first down.
Yeah.
So it's,
Mahomes kind of...
he's not
floundered
as tall,
and-
but
Flounder.
it just seemed like not a good idea.
Was it him that had the knee?
Mahomes?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's why we're
was that the
talking
one
about
where
this.
we saw it pop in and out?
Yeah,
that was
we
Mahomes.
popped it in, yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Alex doesn't pay attention too much.
Well, I was busy making my costume, and I looked up for a second, and I was like, "Ooh, that's his knee just popped in and out of the place." I'm like, "That's bad. Mahomes is out."
Yeah.
But apparently, he went in, got a quick X-ray, and was like, he came out, and was like, "I'm good. I'll be back in a few weeks."
Yeah,
They
that's what
might
it
actually
says.
play him next week.
I would hold him out.
I know.
He's their future.
Josh says, "I need a new quarterback," and I'm like, "You want Mayfield?"
That was your first pick. That was
It
your first round
was.
pick.
It was.
Jackson's doing just fine for you.
So-
And Jackson was just a random. Well, I need another quarterback, and he just.
That's interesting you say that because one of the most notable things that happened this week was Baltimore went to Seattle and won.
I see
which,
that. With a high
hard to
score,
do.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he ran for like 116 yards.
He got a rushing touchdown.
It was raining. It was raining in Seattle, so harder conditions to pass. And so you would think, hey, maybe watch him. Well, they didn't watch him.
Is
'cause he ran
Baltimore
all over 'em.
outdoor?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he
But-
might have that knowledge
That
already.
advantage.
Well,
Well, they're both outdoor.
yes, but it's early. I mean, he's there's only his second year. I don't know. I don't know about his history to
Experience,
know how much
yeah.
he's played outside in the elements. But still, did you see the game in Washington? Or it's actually in Landover, Maryland. The Niners against the
Yeah, I can't
Redskins.
believe the 49ers
It
are
was-
still
They're
undefeated.
But what I mentioned it for is because it was pouring and it was just
it was a low scoring game.
it was because you can't do anything when it's raining that much. And so it was just they were sliding all over the place. They were all soaking wet.
So they're undefeated?
Yeah, they're still undefeated.
Niners are,
The
yeah.
Patriots and the 49ers. It was 9-0.
3 field goals.
Keenum is not doing them any favors.
No,
The Redskins.
Well, I don't know.
You should
if-
go back to
I don't
the,
know if it's so
Vikings.
much
yeah.
his fault. The Redskins are just a dumpster fire of an organization.
They kind of have been. Yeah.
You know who did get a high-scoring game, though?
The Vikings.
The Vikings.
Yeah, you know why?
Good game.
Because they're good.
Well, actually, no, I can't say that.
Cousins is doing something.
He's doing
This was
something.
Don't know.
This was the first decent defense that he's played, and he did good.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how.
I still wouldn't bet on him.
No, I won't. He's not my boy. Sorry. He's not my boy. But I'll cheer him on. You know, he's gotten them this far.
Watch, he's going to take him to the Super Bowl this year, and you're going to be like,
Yeah,
I guess he's
okay.
my boy.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
let's-
a chance, but
Let's see the test of time because they're going up against the Redskins at home next week.
That
They're
should be a
gonna
win.
Eh,
be
they'll
just
draw
fine.
and win.
yeah.
They're going up against the Chiefs the week after.
I don't know. Chiefs
Ooh.
defense is not so good.
No, but their offense is pretty good.
Yeah. And then
Maybe
the Cowboys.
It hasn't been lately because Mahomes has not been 100%.
The Vikings are going to have they're going to have a lot of advantage games coming up here. So depending on if Mahomes is back for that game too for the Vikings.
Yeah.
That's going to be a very hard game to cheer for because
Nope, I'll still cheer
I
purple.
know, but how does your family, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Nebraska
and Missouri.
and Missouri, how does everybody get into a room? Who votes for who?
It's always the Vikings.
It is.
Yes.
I know
Absolutely.
Minnesota. I know your mom.
Minnesota. You've
I know
seen my family.
Your mom's side is very, very Vikings.
You like it when we go there because it's just all Vikings talk.
It's just so funny to see your grandpa, who's old. He's still every time we go to a family reunion, he's just sitting there in his same spot watching the TV.
This is how they sit.
Just and then just
And then they'll lean over and be like, "Oh, that was a good play. That was a good play."
It's the same thing. We've been together for 17 years. It's been that way for that long.
They're always sitting right at the counter,
just staring at the same TV.
Same tube TV. Oh no, they replaced it.
Did
they finally got an LED last year.
Okay.
Remember?
All right, maybe. Oh, that's right. I think we remember going oh my God, we could actually see.
It's in HD.
It's in HD this year.
I have an old school family, my extended family that we see every year in Minnesota, and I love it because just seeing all the Vikings fans. Because I'm alone. You are also a Browns fan, but I feel like a lone Vikings fan in your family.
You are.
Because when you talk up to your mother about anything, she always has to bring up the Browns. And their winning streak this year that they don't have, so
Stink.
they are.
I've got something about football.
I was just gonna ask you about this field goal thing.
Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah, hold on. There was a thing that happened.
No, there's a thing. Yeah, things happen and stuff. I want to actually, I gotta look up what are the Browns this year?
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
2-4.
Oh.
Okay, so the Cowboys did a record-breaking thing.
Okay.
So Brett, how do you call him? What was
Mayer.
his Mayer?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Brett Mayer kicked a record-breaking 63-yard field goal for the Cowboys. I know it's not the record-breaking, but record-breaking was 64 yards.
Okay.
That's the furthest ever kicked. And he did a 63, and he said it was the longest field goal in Cowboy history, making him the first ever player in the NFL history to kick 3 field goals further than 60 yards.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah, that's a really long kick.
Now, how wide is a field goal?
I don't know.
Let me look that up. Because you got to aim for that length and that width and get that ball that's about 12 inches.
You know what's interesting, though, is when they line up for kickoffs and they get a running start, a lot of them put it through the uprights.
Yeah. Okay, how wide is a field goal post? Here we go. 10 feet high. Oh,
That's it?
hold on.
Nah, that's more than that.
10 feet from the ground. There's 10 feet up.
Oh,
Off the
okay.
ground.
And the posts
All
are additional 20 feet high and with her total height of 30
so
feet.
30 feet.
And in the NFL and NCAA have it 18 feet, 6 inches wide.
Wow.
So it's about 20 feet wide. That's not
I mean,
that wide. That's
from 60 yards, that's a small
It's a small
goal
window.
to hit.
yes.
From 10 yards or 30, like the common area, that should be easy. There should be no reason why you can't hit that thing through the 2 posts.
Right. Well, okay.
Oh.
Alex, do we need to do a field test here?
I want to try it. I want to go kick a field goal.
You want to?
I do.
Yeah?
You
probably
also
mess up
have
my
to
ankle.
remember that there are guys running at them to try to block it.
Okay, I want you to run at me to block it.
Who's going to hold it?
Brett.
Nope.
I'm probably going to kick him in the face.
You can just get a football tee and just have it stand. It's
There you go.
fine.
I'll just get a football tee and I'll be like, oh, look, lace is out. Boop.
Yeah. That actually might be a fun trip to do, but I don't think we have any time to do it until snow falls, really.
What do you mean a trip?
We should go to a football field and do it.
Yeah, we've got high school football fields everywhere
I
that
don't
have.
think you can just walk on and do
I'm
that.
saying we need to have. You can go to a park.
I'm
Parks
sure we
have
could
them.
go to one of the football fields around here and then
No.
just do it.
They don't just let anybody onto the football field.
We can find one.
I'm sure there's
It's
a
okay.
middle school football field that we could use.
Okay. Anyway, so I wouldn't be able to kick it. No way.
No, I can.
I don't have that kind of accuracy. Hand-eye coordination, I have, a little bit.
Watch. I'm
amazing,
gonna
but-
do it, and I'm gonna get it like down the center. You guys are all gonna be like eyeballs popped out.
How
and go on
far?
the floor.
How far back?
I think I'm gonna start off at the average, which is like what 30 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a 30-yard field goal.
And sometimes it can be even less than that if it depending on how far up they get their
I
offense.
think it'd be more difficult, honestly, to do like. Or when they do the field goal, is it just? I guess it's a stupid question. Is it where they're at?
What are you talking
What
about?
do you mean?
What are you saying
when
here?
when it's fourth down and they said, well, we're just gonna go for a field goal. It's where.
Yeah, they don't move anywhere else.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just asked that.
The ball is snapped like 4 yards behind them.
Uh-huh.
Plus, you have to add the 10 yards of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's why when they say when we're on they're on like the 20, like, oh no, this is like a 35-yard field goal
Okay.
because you got the 10 and you also got the 4 back.
All right, that's what I was trying to like put in my head.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna do like a 30-yard field goal.
okay.
I'm sure we can find a football.
We have one sitting downstairs.
It's a Nerf ball.
It's whatever. It's kickable.
I don't know if that counts, but
Should
okay.
probably get like a real.
I think we could get a
actual
field.
football.
But,
We could
I
do
mean, I mean, we've got people that are in football right now.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
We could just go talk to him.
Yeah, we could. We could just go talk to him.
We'll talk to him this weekend. We'll
this
see him.
weekend, just
Yep.
be like, hey, can I come kick a field goal on your field? Sure.
He's in college, so I don't know if he's.
I'm
if
sure
that's-
he has access. All right, Alex kicks the field goal.
So yeah, so Brett, you get the toilet for fantasy this week for NFL, and
there was a time. I'll give you this though. There was a
we
time.
were. I was scared for Alex.
Was it during the movie? No, it was before Brett came over.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was before
were
Brett
ahead.
came over.
Neck and neck.
It was like it was projected 116.1 to 116.1, and I was like, oh man, I don't even know what's gonna happen.
Brett, I don't know where you went wrong this week for yours. I think Gordon. I'm looking at it like that. He's the only one that's really
Well,
low
he had
points.
at the end of that game, he
He had
had
a fumble.
2 tries.
Actually, your quarterback didn't do
Russell Wilson.
amazing.
It was raining,
He also got an interception.
but Melvin Gordon had 2 tries from the one to get a touchdown and couldn't get one, and then fumbled on the second.
I don't. My defense carried me. Jacksonville took out Cincinnati. You know, that's.
Yeah.
I was projected to just lose, and
I
I was
mean,
just facing my mortality.
I look at Minnesota's because I got 0. I look that I broke even. 'Cause
They had a
I have
0.
had some negatives.
Well, it's because they got the interception at the end because Stafford was like, well, screw it, I'm just going to throw it. And then your defense got that interception and brought you back to 0.
Woohoo!
Yep. So
Instead of negative.
either way, you still would have won because you were only -2 at that point. So,
It's fine. I still won.
yep.
Let's get out of here.
Oh, it's time to go.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy cow. We didn't get to everything we had on the board. I didn't think that we were hitting time.
Oh, but 2 things.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to get out of here. We're going to have a topic for the next week. We're going to post it this weekend. We're going to get something for our audience to comment on. So
Oh, why don't we just do what's on the board? Which is
What?
hold on. All right, keep talking. I'll find it. I know exactly what we're gonna do this week.
Well, all right.
Just
Well, okay. Let me say this while you're looking. So I finished Gears 5 yesterday.
Whoa, Alex, what are you watching there?
I don't know.
You finished? We can play Horde?
Yes.
Yay! Not this
And
week. though.
I'm here.
Nope.
This is why I mentioned to you about playing Gears 3. Gears 5 is so good.
Really?
Yes.
You're going to praise it this much?
Yes. Like I wasn't a.
Okay, so when are you ever going to play a game that I say is so good?
Well, you already like Gears though. You just haven't played any
I
campaigns.
can't say whether or not I like the campaigns. Yes, I have.
You haven't played. What did I say?
I haven't played any.
I didn't mean that. I know you played the 2.
I've played
You've
all of
played
1,
probably
some of
the-
2, and some of 4.
You've played. Yeah. So
Maybe some of 3,
three is the best of the original trilogy.
I think I played some of 3 because wasn't that one available in 3D as well to a 3D TV?
I don't.
I know 4 was, but I was playing some campaign with our friend Jer.
4 is not quite as good as 3, but 5 is good.
So it's a good it's like you put your stamp of approval. Like Microsoft did really good on this one.
Well, they didn't develop it. The coalition developed it.
You know what I mean? Like this is a good first party title.
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
Way better than.
Is it a
Halo-
system seller?
Halo Guardians. Well, I don't know if it alone is, but the Gears as a whole, most definitely.
Oh, okay. So what's your topic, Alex?
Costumes that shouldn't be sexy.
Hmm.
I think we'll get some good comments on that one. So that's gonna
Well,
be
it
the
is Halloween based.
Yep,
That's
and
good.
it's Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween. It's Halloween based.
Halloween.
Fan
Fail.
Halloween. That's what I mixed up there. So in the comments, we'll put up a post here in the next couple days. Next Monday, we'll be discussing it in light of the Halloween season. Costumes that shouldn't be sexy.
Yes.
Let us know. If there's pictures, possibly post them if they're appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm looking at one right now on Twitter, and it's the Dunkin' Donuts mascot.
Oh,
God,
no.
it looks like a butthole.
can we pull that up on our stream?
Yeah, it even says Dunkin' Donuts mascot. Sorry, I saw this earlier, and I'm still laughing.
I'm going to pull this up real quick.
Oh, my God. It looks horrible.
Wow, we flickered
It's
again.
just like an inflatable.
Oh, did we?
We
Oh,
did.
I must have been laughing and closing my eyes.
Mascot. Duncan. Oh,
Oh, my God. There it is. That second one. Yep, right there.
I got it.
That's it.
Yeah, they were flickering again. Okay, so I'm going to show this on our screen. We should get out of here before we lose power.
Yeah, we
Something's
should.
going on with our stuff.
Shut up and get to plugging.
Shut up and get to plugging.
Look at that. He looks like a butthole.
He does. So if you want to follow me on Twitch, I am a Twitch streamer. I Twitch stream on Wednesday nights and Saturday and Sunday morning. My Twitch handle is twitch.tv/Mr. L, MISTERL. And on Wednesday, I am probably going to, I don't know. I want to do a campaign of some sort, but I've been doing Mario. Actually, I did say to my followers I'd be doing Mario Maker, so I need to do that Wednesday night, but I will eventually get into doing some other stuff. I did Sea of Thieves on Sunday. I went back to it and actually had a good time by myself, just doing a basic pirates, like doing basic stuff for my character, and it was great. So yeah, just check me out. I'll be on Wednesday night as the next stream. So yeah, and Alex, you can do yours.
I am also on Twitch, twitch.tv/Q_kitty, KUTEKITTI. I stream on Sunday, Tuesday, and Saturday nights. Last night I played the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, we played some Halo. That's
Yeah,
fun.
it's always great. Like I was saying, I was like, oh, maybe not Halo tonight. Then we go to Halo. I'm like, then I just have a blast. I always have a blast when we play Halo, especially Master Chief Collection.
When are you doing the campaigns?
No idea.
Never.
Never. So that's what I'm playing right now. We've got Call of Duty Modern Warfare coming out this weekend.
That's why.
It's not gonna happen this weekend. Maybe not. I don't know.
Sunday.
Oh, it'll happen Sunday. Sorry, I'll be streaming that on Sunday. There you go. Ooh, yeah,
We
gotta
gotta
get out of here. Our lights keep flickering. Okay, but that's me. There you go.
If you want to follow our social media, we are on Facebook, which is facebook.com/PTOUnlimited. Instagram is PTOUnlimited_podcast. And we're on Twitter, which is @PTOUnlimited. If you want to catch us live on our pre-show, we are live on YouTube at 6:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what we do with our pre-show is we tell you what it's going to be on our show. So we actually we do a rundown of what we have available to talk about, and it kind of gives you an insight of what the podcast is going to be. So if you want to check us out at 6:15, that's when we'll be live for our pre-show, and then the audio is our actual podcast that comes out on all of our streaming apps, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Just Google search us. We're all over the place. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I am @Lemke619.
Brett_Wings.
Cute_kitty.
You could have said that faster, jeez,
Well,
Brett.
we're flickering. We need to get out of here.
Yeah. Our lights are flickering. Power is flickering.
Okay, we've got a real quick as my final note. Sorry to cut you off, Brett, but we got a final
Jeez.
note saying
I wasn't gonna
we've
do
got a Halloween party this weekend, and like always, we always throw up some pics. Oh my gosh, pictures up on social media from the party. So
at least 3,000.
Stay tuned for that. At least 13,000.
What's your
Brett,
final?
do you have a final note?
Go Google the dachshund that balances stuff on his head.
It's adorable. I've
Yes.
seen it.
I love his bow ties.
Yes.
That's great.
Dachshund.
And what I also like is that he's looking up.
He's
at
always
whatever's
doing
on
like
it.
this. It's like somebody has a treat for him.
Is there an image of it?
There might
Sure.
be. Yeah, that's him.
Look at him.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, we're gonna show this on our thing.
Yeah, there's some really, but there's like a compilation video of a lot of stuff that he does.
Yeah,
Look at
and a
his
stack-
eyes.
He had a stack of crackers on his head.
He's cracker stacking. Look at that. He's got some biscuits.
Yes. No, he's super adorable.
Love it. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you guys next week for episode 183. It will be our last podcast in this studio. So thanks for joining us, guys.
Bye.
Bye.